Welcome back. If you just tuned in, you're watching Good Morning Sri Lanka here on MTV Sports, one amazing channel. And I have two amazing people in the studio with me today. As I promised earlier, they're here for the Colombo International Theatre Festival. And they're two very eminent and prolific theatre personalities from India. I have Dr. Ashish Ghosh and also Imran Khan, who is very relaxed on the couch over there.
Thank you.
It's nice to have with us here in the studios. Dr. Ghosh, starting with you, could you just tell me how you are involved in the Colombo International Theatre Festival?
Yeah, I think, yes. Mohammad Safir visited New Delhi when we organized first national conference on TYA. TYA meaning Theatre for Young Audience. That's a new genre of theatre, not new in India. Maybe in subcontinent it is new, but in elsewhere it had been very popular going on. So we'll have the opportunity to explain what it is further. So Safi was there, and I think we had a long dialogue that how to develop theatre, particularly TYA theatre, in the subcontinent. And I think he carried the message and organized the first, and I think it's a very daring job he has done.
It is a very daring job to do it, you know, and it's on a volunteer basis,
Absolutely, right? Absolutely. So I think most of the theatre people are daring people. They dare things, and that is the beauty of it. So whenever a young person comes, we wish them the best of struggle in the world.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, and without struggle, I suppose the life is meaningless. And so much of creativity comes out of this struggle. You know, that is why people come back to theatre again and again, whether they're TV stars, whether they're film stars, whosoever, have to come back. The real actors have to come back to theatre to learn that experience of meeting audience live in front and creating a contact, and that's something which only theatre can give. So anyway, Safir's background in theatre is also very strong. So I think that had been a motivating factor not only for us but all in subcontinent to develop a theatre. So that is how it came about, and we are in constant dialogue.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Imran, Dr. Ghosh was talking about theatre for young adults. Now, both of you are dealing with children's theatre. Talk to us a little bit about this concept of theatre for young adults. What's this genre all about?
Well, there is a lot of theatre in the whole subcontinent which is done with children or with young people. But when we talk about theatre for young audience, we basically mean theatre produced by adult professional, keeping the young audience in mind. So it requires the same sort of a treatment and the same sort of seriousness that we put while producing play for so-called mainstream theatre or theatre for adults. Because what happens that sometimes people feel, since it's children's theatre and it's for children, and anything can be done under its banner, but that's not true. In fact, theatre for children needs to be looked at more seriously, because when your target audience is children, which is very quick in accepting,
And how old are these children? I mean, when you're talking about theatre for young adults, what's the age you're looking at?
Well, when we say theatre for young audience, globally, we are catering for the children newborn to the 18 years. So it's the whole age. But of course, when we produce a particular production, it's to particular age group. So it could be, there are internationally, we have a project working which is called the small size project, that is for children between 0 and 3, and so on and so forth. So but here we are talking about producing work for the children between 0 and 18. and giving it the same treatments and same seriousness like we give to the theatre for adults.
And I mean, children are anyway, they're very imaginary, beings. They live in imaginary world. They like to, always have this role play. So what made you really get into children's theatre, Dr. Ghosh?
Oh, because I think the more there is child in all of us. Okay, and then I was in education, teaching at the university level, all right, but also got involved with certain schools. And therein what we found is that art and theatre is a mighty tool to enter into the lives of the children. So theatre is one thing, producing plays is one thing. Another thing is how to get involved in the world or the universe of the child. Therein the whole outlook of a person gets changed, because you are constantly discovering the young in you. And while you are doing that, you need to know so many aspects of human. For example, say, playfulness. Play is a play is a play. But what happens to the adults? Children are normally naturally playful. Children are normally naturally have the artistic qualities imbibed and given by nature. That's why the child paints. That's why a child dances. They play child drama. You see, one will assume the role of a teacher. All of us
have gone through that phase in life.
So why it is? It is the nature who has given us. Now, this playfulness in a child is the thing. More we grow, we forget playing.
That's true. I wish we could always remember playing in this hectic world that we live in as adults.
Yeah, but also, mind you, the most creative people in the world remain playful throughout their life. You see, Einstein would play the violin and do his maths. Think anyone has to be playful in their life to retain that spirit. So I think the children's theatre gives that opportunity. Not only to remain playful, but also to understand what it means to be a 3-year-old, what it means to be an 8-year-old, what it really means to be, say, the not really much known generation, the teenagers, the adolescents. We hardly know anything about this new generation that is coming up. So what is the inroad? I think children's theatre, children's literature, this is a mighty way of looking at the world that is in the making. If we really lose touch with that, we are losing touch with the world altogether. World is not only technology. World is not only IT. There's so much in it. And this is where I think we get the incentive to do children's theatre. So we reflect on what the childhood is, what the young people are aspiring, what is their universe, what they want. That's very crucial. It's not that in children's theatre, and that is where we have to really make the breakthrough. It is not that adults will impose things on children. Most of the conventional children's theatre had been done that way.
Where children are dictated what to say, how to move, things like that.
There are technical things which have to be done, all right. But so far the content is concerned, it has to be a reciprocity between me as theatre person and the child who wants certain things, who wants the world to be known from his or her point of view. So that is important. So it becomes an interactive place, intensely interactive place between so-called adults like me and the young in front of me. So without that interaction, real good theatre for children cannot happen, what we call TYA.
And Imran, talking about good theatre for children, can you just briefly tell us what are the, some of the projects that you've done with children? What are the topics that you would usually do with children in theatre?
Well, while doing work with children, my most important aspect of working with children is I never decide on my topic.
Okay.
I let my topic come out of through my workshop with the children, and I would rather prefer to talk about what they want to talk about, because as we said that we don't want to dictate them, because they also have their ideas, they all have things that they want to talk about, and what are their issues. They know it better than us. What are the difficulties they're going through, or even if they're not difficulties, they just want to talk about that how they like to have fun. And I just want to know how they like to have fun. So they would be able to tell me better. So one of the most important part of my work with children, and I think it should be similar to many people who are working with children, that the idea comes from them, and we just do the job of just needling them around and stitching them together. Rest of the things are done by the children, because they themselves are so creative, and we are there just to do a little bit of professional help into the technicalities of it, and just to put that playfulness together. So a lot of topics that have come with children. We did a famous project which was about space, and we were doing children of two different economical background, and one could see the different ideas coming from the one side, which was a little economically well-to-do background children. When we introduced the word for space for them, they are talking about the space shared between them and their family, and the imaginary space of the wonderland and the technological space. While we spoke about the same from the children of a resettlement colony, for them